All right, guys, welcome to Market Open live trading stream with MadMaverick. So we've had quite the week so far, right? So we've had the markets just pull back down, and mm, and it continues to drop. It was what was expected yesterday, right? The Fed Powell really didn't do anything. He didn't. He just was pretty hawkish on inflation data that may uptick for longer, and which gonna kind of force their hand just to sit on their hand, should I say? So they're not going to do much until they see inflation data come in and it's much lower. And they also said Iran war is going to be a big problem, especially with oil prices. That's going to going to make cost of things go up, right? So um, SPY just dropped. Everything dropped off yesterday, so that was it. And we kind of planned that in the live stream yesterday in premium. Um, I did mention this. This was on the live stream yesterday morning with just the premium members. We were saying either above 670.45 for calls or a drop of 667.40 for puts. And this was the play that we were going to trade, depending if we broke the red line or dropped below the green line. And you can see once we dropped below that green line in the morning, we never regained it right over here. Sorry. So once we lost it here, we just kind of dropped off from there, kind of leading into the Fed meeting. And then once we got the negative kind of reaction, then it just went sold off right into market close and into the after hours. So big move for puts, right? We were mentioning drop of 667. We play it down to 662. Which we got. Now we're down to 656, so we're dropped even lower overnight. And all I'm using, and I did mention this morning, just the EMA 921. That's the only indicator with some volume, obviously, and we got RSI. But on the actual chart here, all we're going off of is the trend of the 921. And you can see this ribbon here that I made, and I'm actually going to change it a little bit. Probably just going to, you can just take off, put this up to 50% so it's a little bit clearer. And all we're basing, we got a sell signal all the way yesterday on SPY, all the way in pre-market, we got the sell signal, never regained the buy signal. So the trend was downtrending all day long. Even though it was choppy a little bit in the middle of the day, we never got to a buy signal to say we're crossing back over the 921 for potentially a move to the upside. So downside move all the way through the day. Now, if we go to today, the same thing is happening. We got this sell signal right here about 7:15 a.m. this morning, and we're just trending down since that sell signal. So for me, SPY is still in a downtrend. There's no signs of a recovery yet, but we'll see how market opens in about 2 minutes. I'm going to put a few levels here. This level would be a level to watch. Right here, I'm going to put it a little bit lower so it matches the wick. And then we're going to go to pre-market low as well, because if we lose pre-market low, I think we just keep trending down for the day. And just keep it that way. So this is option trading, right, for SPY, just based on the EMA 921 crossover with some volume and RSI. On the chart, we got MACD down here too. So what I'm going to look for as SPY is just a loss of this pre-market low here. If we lose that, then I'll be aiming down to about 650. That's where I'll be aiming to trade the puts down to. Let me make that a little bit clearer. So loss of this line would be nice if we retested it in rejection and then we play it down to 650. That would be ideal for an entry. We don't always get it. So we see how that, it's 9:30 already. And then for above, then we just play it above this line, retest, and play it up towards pre-market high over here. If we get back above 658.70-ish. Right here. and then we play it up to here. I don't know if we're going to get that, but it's always good to plan out both sides. And if we decide to stay under this level, which is about 656, then I will look to play 654 puts for March 20th, tomorrow's expiration. And I'll look to trade this down to this line over here. Just keep it very simple. If we close under this green line, we just opened, so I'm not going to jump in right now. Because that can easily just get absorbed and start moving back up. So I'm going to wait for that candle to close. And then over here, we're going to go for 660 calls, March 20th, expiration. If we get above this red line, I'll put this in like the thickest I can do it. That's the thickest. So we lose this green line, we take this. We regain this above, then we take the calls towards these targets here. Very simple stuff. And I won't be trading in between that range that I put, the little box. This is not where I'm going to trade in. I'm going to wait for a trade outside of this box here. It may take 30 minutes. It may take 2 minutes. It may take 15 minutes. It's all about patience here and executing the plan once it sets up. So we see how that goes. And then I'm going to share the watch list with you guys as well. Just equity trades. If you're looking for just day trade equity, momentum on news, anything like that, maybe earnings were good, then check out the morning watch list. That is where you're going to get just equity trading. And you're going to look for a break above those entries and the close of a candle above those entries for them to be active. A 2-minute, 3-minute candle. And then aim for those targets. And then the stop loss is pretty tight, because if we lose momentum and the volume falls off, let's protect ourselves. Let's not let it go down too much. Let's just put a stop in place just in case. Go through the chats here. How's everyone doing? Oh, it's great. Excited for the day. Yo, so yeah. MicroStrategy was one that we played yesterday too. Live, premium, 40% plus on the profit. And that was going to be a swing, but we took the profit before the Fed meeting. Well, I did anyways. And that, I think that went down to probably 100% profit in the end, because it dropped quite significantly overnight. But potentially a good play there. If Bitcoin continues to drop, then MicroStrategy will drop, right? Because they're heavily linked to Bitcoin, because their treasury is Bitcoin. So the value of Bitcoin decreases, MicroStrategy will likely decrease. And that's kind of how I play MicroStrategy, based on Bitcoin. But let's see, we're on the 5-minute. Let me go down to the 3-minute candles. Let's see what's happening. $650, very significant support. If we go to the bigger time frame on SPY, right, it tracks the S&P. It's the ETF that tracks the S&P. If we zoom out, this is a very significant support level around this 650 right here. Bounced several times pretty strong off this level. You can see the volume shelf right here, very strong. Got a lot of volume there. If it decides to lose 650, man, we're going down to probably like 620 or under. There's not much holding this up if we lose the 650 level. So right now we play it to 650, but if we lose 650, this could nuke pretty quickly down to the low 600s. So that's where I got that 650 from. Go through the chats here. Let me know. Yeah, if my voice is not working properly, let me know, because maybe the internet is a little choppy or something. We'll see. I'm trying to be a boomer and start building a SPY position. Yeah, Tony, that's, I mean, every big drop is going to give you a nice potential entry on SPY to go long, right? Because the overall market, if you just put it in SPY, you're going to make some money, right? Because it's uptrending over the years. You're not going to make too much, but maybe it's a little bit more of a safe haven for you to make a couple of percent or maybe 10% a year. Also there's some down years, but overall it goes up. So these big dips inspired likely, yeah, to go long, you're probably going to make some money there, but it's not going to be tons, right? That we can do on other stuff, other swings, other day trades. But SPY, yeah, I like SPY long term once it drops and finds the support. I think trying to think here. You can also, I think they have a dividend too, SPY, but you can also find like Vanguards and stuff that track S&P, but probably pay out better dividends and a lot cheaper. So I'm going to get ready to take this put 654 put for tomorrow's expiration. I haven't checked my positions today. Let me see what they're like. I'm not doing too great on my swings account. Let me see on this account. SPY, I'm just going to queue this up in my watch list, and then once I'm ready to take it, I will buy. Tomorrow's expiration, buy a put, 654. Actually, I may go a little, 654 is a little expensive, but maybe I'll buy just one contract. If it's a little expensive, you can go maybe a couple of dollars more out the money as well. But we need to see the trend kind of strong in that direction. They'll decay a little bit faster. Let me see. Those MicroStrategy puts are up 240% from 260% from yesterday. Okay. Even the video puts up 120% from yesterday. Well, 150% from entry yesterday. Okay, so let's see what happens with this candle. So this is ideal right now. So we got this candle closed below here. This green candle is going to retest the green line. We're going to smash right through it, which I won't play. We won't trade puts if we close this candle right back in the box. But if we start to fall back down and start to reject and start to roll on this candle, then I will buy those puts. But right now, that's a pretty strong reaction off that last candle. You see if this candle starts to roll over. If it does, I'm in those. I'm going to buy those puts right here. 650. Yeah, I think 650 is not a bad level. But what kind of you can track SPY to know when the bottom is just track VIX, right? So the volatility index. So when that spikes, like we've seen VIX spike to like 40, 50, once that tops out, that's going to bottom the market. And once that starts to top out and just starts to fall, the VIX, then that will be the bottom. And then you can guide your way into maybe some SPY then. Because everyone's preparing for a VIX spike to 40 or 50, and once that happens, the market will bottom, and then we're going to start to see the market track back up, and maybe a potential buy there for some SPY equity swing trade or long-term position there. I was trying to short some stuff today. Let me see. Got these top gainers a little bit dodgy today. See how this one is. Ooh. Morning. Yeah, let me see. I got my first buy. Sounds good. VIX over 27. Yeah, 27 is not that. I mean, it's high, right? But when we zoom out to VIX, quickly go to VIX, right? We're up to 27. And it's been uptrending, right? So it's been uptrending for quite when is this? Let me see when that is. Oh, only like this since like yesterday. It's been trending from 21 up to 27. If we zoom out on like the weekly on VIX, this is where we are right here. So I always love to trade like Vicky or something like that, something that follows VIX. I always like to trade that up once we bottom out on VIX because you're likely to make some pretty decent returns there, but you don't want to jump in too soon on that swing trade. But like Vicky or UVXY, something like that, once VIX is down here around 11, then you can make a trade on one of those swing positions and play VIX up with one of those ETFs, like leverage ETFs that trade with it. But we're right in the mid range of between the spikes, right? The mid range between the high of the spike and the start of the spike. So, looking at the average spike, it's been around like 36, 35, 36, and then we kind of dropped off there. But if we go to the last big ones, then we went to as high as 60 here. And then this wick was nasty. Look at that wick all the way to 65. So this right here started the week off at 23, and then it went as high as 65 and closed at 20. That was a wild week right there. But the market bottomed out on that week once this dropped off. Same thing right here. If you track SPY or you track the overall market, once this started rolling off here, the market found the bottom and started going higher. So that's kind of what you can kind of gauge in looking at something like VIX. Once this tops out over here, it was even higher, right? This was COVID. So this was 85. But once this rolled over, the market was freed up to go and it went and it reversed from there. So that's what I would just be paying close attention to see where VIX tops out here. Like this is a nasty candle last week, but it's also building off of that now. So we'll see. I'm going to put that line right there too. That's a rejection about 28, 29 right here several times along the way. So that's what I'll be paying close attention to. If we get through that 28, 29 and hold above it, then potentially we can get a spike up to like 40 to 60. And that's kind of alleviates the overall market and finds the bottom for us. And then we can take swing trades, we can take SPY entries, we can take, a lot of different trades there. We just have to be a little patient on this overall market. Let's see what SPY is doing now. Okay, so it's back in the box, not taking any trade. But overall, it's still very bearish still. We're still below the 921. So it's still overall trending down, even with this bump right here. Russell crossing bullish on the 5-minute over 20 SMA could get rejected. Yeah, you could. Let me put the SMA 20 on here, see what that looks like. On the 3-minute, it's positive. So it's VWAP on here. It's above VWAP as well on the 3-minute. So SPY's looking a lot better here. We'll see what if we get a buy signal on this ribbon. Or not. If you're looking at equity, I look at LNKS. This one is trying to track up here. This was on the watch list and it's trying to move up, try to go more positive. The entry for that was 76 above 76. We're up to 82. We just hit 85. So this one is tracking up now. So we see if we get a big move on this one or not. This is LNKS. We got a buy signal right here as well. and we start to trend up. So this is one that's looking a little better right now on the equity side. We're not quite at VWAP, so VWAP's 88, so that would be a target for this. And if we get through that, then potentially we can play up towards these resistance points here, about $1.10 maybe, if that volume decides to carry on coming in to this this chart. We'll see what happens. But we got 85 so far from 76 entry. So if you're in this trade, just make sure you do not go red in this one. Put that right there too. See if even if it pulls back, that would be an area where I would look for it to hold right here. It's rejection right there, but if it pulls back and bounces off that level, it could be good. If it falls right through, it could fall right down again, and that's when you want to protect your position right there. My objective is to get a SPY trade, so I'm gonna just focus on 1 or 2 charts at a time. Pin is ripping. Pin is up 1.2%. Yeah, hell yeah, that is moving up. We try to fill that gap it created from the drop first. Dan C, which one you talking about? Let's see if it created a gap. Oh yeah, so let's see what kind of, if I even put the gap there, that would be, I don't know, I think it's weak. I don't know, that could be a potential gap fill. What's that, to 661-ish? Yeah, right there. Potentially a gap fill to 661. I see it. We'll see if we get that momentum back above this resistance. Ideally, that would be nice, above 658.60, then play up towards that 661, which will be that gap fill. So that's kind of what I planned it here already without knowing, I suppose. But it's starting to roll a little bit here, so we'll see what entry we get. Yeah, let's see what else is moving. Man, people are really just milking the whole drone business right now. So many companies just talk about drones. It's funny, pretty funny out there. So SPY is just flat. If you've been following commodities in my coaching class, we entered ZSL, which follows silver, right? So it's the inverse of silver. And if you want to take advantage of trends, like really nice trends, 2x leverage ETFs are great to trade. And we've done that with silver, right? So silver has been trending down for a couple of days now, and our average was down in the 18. So post split, right? Because before the split it was about $2, and then after the split we're about 18. But post split, with our average from 1880, we've gone up to $29, and that is a very solid swing. Just trading this 2x leverage ZSL following silver. So as long as silver trends down, this will continue to trend up. And I do love using these leverage trades. The coaching group here can probably attest to that, and how we can make some very solid double the income on the moves, on the daily moves on some of these stocks. So Silver's a very good one. Everyone knows what I think about the quantum names, the garbage quantum names like QBTS. This has been trending down for some time, and all we've been doing is trading QBTZ up, which is a 2x short leverage, and we've been trending up ever since, down in the 10s, below 10s, and it's up 50%. So these are just leverage ETFs that follow the actual daily move of some of these names that I like to just trade. 2x leverage. Why not get 2x the move on some of these stocks? So I try to focus on that as well in the coaching and kind of bringing that to the front so everyone can make a little bit more than just the average daily move on some of these tickers. All of them have them. Nvidia has them. Netflix has them, Microsoft has them, AMD has them. They all have the inverse ETFs that have that exposure of 2x. And why not do that? Why not take advantage? If you can follow the trend and you're very good on planning your trade, then you should have the risks should still be very limited to the downside. Yeah, I was looking for the hot mic. So this one, QBTS, was in Swing Scout this week on Monday. I released it on Sunday night for a swing, and the swing entry was 1260, and we're up to the 15. So that's very solid returns for just a few days. Going back to SPY now, we're getting a move to the upside. Let's see if we break this red line or not. We got a bias. We're starting to get this buy signal right here with the EMA 921. Just trying to get us a good entry on one of these trades. See if we can get it. See if we can get a good entry. So far, rejection right on that line. Thank you. They have a pretty good authorization there. Authority that SPY would definitely move up, down, or sideways. Shit, we know it now. We've learned it all. We know that it's going to move one way or another, up, down, sideways. Some of these Mag 7s are getting smashed a little bit too. We got Meta down to about close to 600 now. Microsoft, I think, is the best deal out there, but I've just got to wait for some levels to hold before I buy more, or start buying Microsoft, should I say. I haven't bought any. But I will start buying some Microsoft if we come down a little bit lower. I'll buy some of that. Yeah, he has the best analysis, right? It can all be taught in like 1 second. All right, SPY still rejecting off the top. Let's see if we start to fall here. Do we have any data that came out? Let's have a look at Forex Factory and see if any data came out today. We've got new home sales in 6 minutes, in 5 minutes, 30 seconds. Natural gas is today, so that will be interesting. But not much today. Unemployment was this morning. Unemployment came in lower than expectation, so that's forecast was 215,000, came in at 205, so that's better. That's about it. Not much today. Mule, that's a good one to hold long team down here. is a very good name down here. And I see it on my watch list. It's up 3.4%. These software companies that are getting smashed based on AI, all the AI hype and how it could affect their business. There's a few of them that I love to buy, and one would then be ServiceNow that I talk about quite a lot. Salesforce is like, for me, it's ServiceNow or Salesforce. I'm not going to buy both, but Salesforce have been buying like buyback, so they've been doing huge buybacks. I mentioned that, I believe, in one of the chats yesterday or the day before. They authorized a huge buyback just recently. So they're buying back their shares now. And then you also got Team, which is down here in the gutter, like you say. And it doesn't seem to want to drop below 70 again. So I will be watching this one to move up high as well. This for me is undervalued based on the growth that it's been experiencing. And maybe cutting their employee. I think they're cutting 10,000 employees, so maybe that will help them, the bottom line, right, their margins. And they're going for that more AI approach, so maybe this will bottom out around that $70. It's like 69.70, and then we may start moving back to to the 100 plus over the next 12 months. We're definitely one top of my radar. And then also ServiceNow is top of my radar as well to build positions into. Those two names. SPY just find it very hard to get through that resistance. If this starts to fall, I'm going to take my puts a little bit riskier, because we still got a buy signal. But if we reject off this area and we start to fall, I'm going to buy these. I'll probably go 655 puts. I'm not going to go so far out the money. I'm going to buy 655 puts for tomorrow if we start to roll here. I get in a little bit sooner, and my risk can still be limited, because if we get back above this red line, then I can stop out if we get back above it. That would be my plan. But we're going to start. It looks like we start to roll a little bit here. So I'm just going to queue up 655 for tomorrow. Just going to watch it for a minute. I'm going to change it from 654 to 655. Take this off my list. How much are those going for? 360 a contract. Microsoft. Isn't like, I read that news about the lawsuit thing, but isn't Microsoft invested in OpenAI? Aren't they like one of the bigger players invested? Why are they suing them? Same thing, right? Thought they owned them. I thought they had either they owned them or had a huge stake in them. I think they had a huge stake, I thought, in OpenAI. If I'm wrong, definitely tell me. But I don't know why they sue them. Who's bored looking at these candlesticks right now? Is it a little bit boring for us? Yeah, you're a bit bored. What can we do instead? Let's play some games instead of watching these candles, because this is a little boring up here. Code names, yeah, we played that. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Maybe some of you guys didn't, but I was the winner. That's why I probably enjoyed it. I think my team at least was the winners in that one. It was fun. That Friday was fun. I enjoyed it. It's different. Yeah, I was right on the high. That's right. It ended the week in a high for sure. So Microsoft owns 27% apparently. Yeah, so what they're gonna sue them and then it has to come out their own pockets. That's I don't know why are they suing them? I would like to know more. I'd like to know more. Spies right on that red line. Let's see, it may start ripping right through it here. It's looking better. Here we go. A little bit more positive. Calls would be for me 660 calls for tomorrow if we can hold up above this red line here. What is the video doing? The video is still dropping a little bit. How's MicroStrategy doing? Let's see if there's a trade for MicroStrategy like yesterday. Let me see where MicroStrategy is. Oh, MicroStrategy went down to 133, so it smashed pretty much all our targets from yesterday. I like trading MicroStrategy lately, so let me see what there is. Is there any cheap contracts? Tomorrow's expiration. Yeah. MicroStrategy, it moves so nicely up or down, like by big chunks. So MicroStrategy from the bottom to where it's at now is up $5. So you could make some really good profit there. I'm gonna look for trade as well right there. I'm gonna watch that on my top screen. So if you were in that LNKS trade, it actually rejected at VWAP, but it got through. The wick was 92. So if you got in that trade, very positive profit there from 76 entry up to 92 was the max. I don't expect anyone to take that profit at the wick top, right at the top of the wick. But we got to that VWAP, so about 86 cents would have been a very nice trade from 76, and then it started to roll over a little bit down to below 70. So it's looking very negative now. It's selling off and it's not holding any levels. So it was a very good trade until it started to roll, right? So that's when I mentioned in the watch list notes, it says there once you're in profit, raise your stop up, don't go red. And even if you leave with a couple of percent, it's better than just going from 15% up to being 10% down. So just, even if you are up 10-15% and your stop is at 2% profit, that's still a win-win scenario. You may have not maxed out, but you got out with a profit and you didn't take a loss. So that's, for me, a very big win. So that's what I mention all the time in the notes, right? Just once you go nice and green, do not go red in that trade. There's no need to go red. Price is still very bullish. I like that too, Mil. Yeah, OKTA, they do security as well. They got an outperform of 100. That's really nice. I like that. I also like that one too. SPY's just finding it very hard to hold up. So I'm still looking for a trade with SPY. Hopefully I get one before we leave today. But it's good not to rush. I'm looking my radar here. If we start to roll off, I'm looking for MicroStrategy, $135 puts for tomorrow expiration. That's what I'm looking to take. They're super cheap, about 170 bucks. And MicroStrategy is kind of having a rolling top here. So I'm gonna grab that one contract in MicroStrategy. I'm breaking the bank here, guys. I'm buying a $135 put for tomorrow's expiration. Oh, but they're moving up now. They're up to $190 bucks. But I still like it. I'm gonna see if I can get filled. Let's see if I can get filled here. Here we go. I'm gonna get filled right now. So I'm gonna buy 180. So 180 is when I got filled. 180 bucks for the contract for MicroStrategy. $135 put for tomorrow's expiration. Looking for a roll off here down to near lower day. Trying to max out that. It's definitely achievable. So I'm gonna write in the chat here. I'm in MicroStrategy, $135 put for March 20th expiration. 180 fill, just one contract, nothing really to break the bank, 180 bucks. And I'll look for it to get over two at least. 220 would be my first target for that contract. And I'm going to be following obviously MicroStrategy and seeing how Bitcoin reacts up here around 70,000. If you wanted a stop loss, if you want to take this trade and you want a stop loss, where could my stop loss be? Well, maybe if it breaks through high of day, that could be a cue to leave that trade and cap your loss. That could be a potential stop loss position right there. But we're starting to roll off already on MicroStrategy a little bit. Ideally, we want that to drop for it to turn real bearish on this chart. MicroStrategy needs to drop below 136.70. At the moment, I'm looking for a day trade, but if we really start rolling off and it continues, I may try to hold it into tomorrow. I think it's a little risky for that. I may just take it by the end of the day anyways. But if tomorrow, like if I see like we just big sell side volume overall by the end of the day, just there's no buying, then potentially I could hold that one contract overnight. But it's just a risk, right? You can't do anything if it decides to rip up in overnight hours. There's nothing we can do with those. We can't sell contracts. We have to wait till the next day market open. So there's a risk behind it. But if the profit is good, then I'll take it before the end of the day. But it is starting to roll. So we need to lose, MicroStrategy needs to lose 136.73 and close under that. Then I think this starts to print really good for us. We've already seen Bitcoin drop about $300 since we started getting into this one already. Those contracts up to 210 already, a contract. SPY got a nice bump there, and MicroStrategy is trying to hold that 136.70. Let's see if we can just clear it and drop below and hold below that, like a 3-minute candle close. It's bouncing right off that level. SPY is moving up. So volatility is just, it's there. Yeah, they're all popping. This is a nice candle for SPY as well. This nice big green chunky candle with the good volume. So this could be where it could build off of here. We'll see if it starts to move up. MicroStrategy bounced right on that level too. I would just love for it to drop under 136.70, and then that clears the way for more downside down to 135. But it's bouncing with the overall market. I am going to share in, okay, Dell's flying up. I'm going to share, if you guys, because I know that, some people just can't do this online in Discord, on any online platform. If you want to join us, we have in-person event, Traders Paradise, every year. This year it's in Nashville. We changed it up. Last year was in Chicago. This year's in Nashville. It's in June. If you guys want to come to the in-person event, we're going to have live trading. We're going to have a lot of educational to, change your way of trading for the better. Passive income, selling options, which are just most profitable. The income and the profitable is more likely when you're selling options than buying them and trading naked options. So if you want more in-person event, you feel like you can learn more from that, check out Traders Paradise. I just posted it in the chat. Open a support ticket to find out more information. And also there's like a little video there kind of showing you the previous times and kind of what's incorporated, but a lot of live in-person trading, small group sessions, and it's there just to kind of help change your life for the better in trading, for you not to give up, and for you not to trade alone. This is the place where you don't want to miss out, and come join us for that in-person event. So that's coming up in June. I'm sure there's a few people here that came to last year that can mention how it was, how how successful it was for them. And then this year we have a good group coming already, so I'm very excited to see everyone in person in Nashville in June. The SPY's rolling over here as well, so I just put the link up there. Traders Paradise, June 7th to the 11th. I believe it starts on June 8th. June 7th is like when we kind of do the meet and greet on that Sunday in the evening. And then it starts Monday until Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to that. So if there's anyone here on the fence, like they kind of stuck with trading, they want to know strategies, they want to, try to make it a little bit easier on them, just come to that in-person event there. I promise you're going to learn a lot of great stuff and leave there in a whole better position than where you first started. Okay, enough of that, right? I'm still in that micro strategy put. Yeah, it's dropping below that 136. Here we go. We got the nuke that we need. We just need it to stay under 136.70. And then those puts will continue to give us very good income there. We're up to 219 a contract now. We're up to a higher day on those contracts since we entered. Yeah, Adrian was there. Thank you, Adrian, for saying that. It was definitely a fun time, and I felt like, even I learned a lot of stuff there as well. Okay, so MicroStrategy. I'm not even in SPY right now, right? I'm in MicroStrategy. So let's just look at that chart. So you can see here, I have a few lines on here, but we are losing the 136.70, and we start to roll over a little bit here. So this is what I want to see. Also, if we go back to Bitcoin, this is what happened with Bitcoin right now. It's retracing. So as long as this continues, then we're going to be in very good standing with those puts now. We broke down under support here, as you can see, the little symbol. And Doctor, thanks for saying that. It was a lot of fun, and this year's going to be, I suppose, I heard there's a lot of new stuff coming, and it's going to be even better. Promise you that. Okay, so we still drop it here, 135.90 for MicroStrategy. We are up to 232 a contract from our 180, 185 entry, guys. We have plenty of time to get into this contract. If you're happy with that profit, take that. Take it. We're up to 237. Two days in a row, we killed it on MicroStrategy here. That is 30% profit so far on those contracts from MicroStrategy downside. I'm going to keep on watching. Let me keep on watching SPY on the chart above me. SPY is rolling over too, but it's holding VWAP at the moment. So we got 30% on those contracts. So no one should be going red in this trade whatsoever in this session. You better get those days off, Tony. Somehow, some way, we make you a doctor's note or something. We make AI to make you a doctor's note. Just tell us where to send it. Got a little green candle here, so just got to be aware that it could pull up pretty quickly. So definitely protect that position. Still below our 136.73 though. That's so bad. I wanted to short that, just wasn't available. Still rolling over. Contracts are still at 235. Sailor, you can pick us all up. You can just come around, do a big full circle, and just pick us all up, because you're right. Because that I've seen some of the airports in Orlando Airport, where I'm from, where I will be leaving from, is bad. Like, it's packed and it's delayed, and going through that TSA, it used to be like 5 minutes. Now it's hours, and during that time, it's like high peak tourist kind of time, right? So I may have to get on that bus tour as well. Just come pick me up a couple of days before. Yeah. Hey, hush, hush, doctor. No one knows about that magic bus. All right. I got about 7 minutes before I jump off. A very good trade here on MicroStrategy. Took us a little bit longer, but why not take the time for the setup? Um, if you want to join coaching, it's a good place to start if you want to learn strategies and talk about position size and trading plans and potential trades, swing trades. We look at everything there in that coaching program. We look at fundamentals, we look at technicals, and then we build ourselves a plan around it. If we like everything we see, we build a plan around it. We execute the plan with limited risk, right? We always got the number one thing here is protection for your capital. It could be one day, could be a very good setup, then we have a blast of bad news, and it could break down. And for protection, stop losses, stuff like that, are just going to keep you from taking big losses on those on trades, just any trade. So we learn about risk management as well, and my coaching program starts at 11 o'clock. So anyone want to join, or they want to think about and join next week, it's every Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern is the live stream. It's recorded. So if you can't come to the 11 o'clock a.m., because I know it's in the middle of the day, it's recorded. You can watch it in your own time. But you get, exclusive access to the chat channel. Any help you need, you can come to me. And then my personal trading channel as well. So you get a lot of goodies for a very low price, $39.95, I believe it is. So I'm gonna, yeah, okay. Well, thank you, Pookie. There you go. Pookie already beat me to it. There's a coaching program link. Click on it, look through it. It goes to the website, and then join us. Join us. Make your trading experience a lot better. Get the help that you need, and make more consistent profit. So yeah, MicroStrategy is still down. SPY's rolling over, so it doesn't look too great here. If you look at SPY, this is rolling really nicely. Got a sell signal here on the 921. So originally we want to lose this green line. We can still do that. If we lose the green line, 650 would be my target. Where's my MicroStrategy? Still losing here too. Good. Look at that. That prints me a nice sell signal. This is gonna print. This is gonna start falling. We are up to 240 a contract. So again, plus 30% on those contracts. Why does pins like 850, 1850? Well, I would imagine it's some kind of level of support. Let's have a look. I'd say it likes, yeah, it's selling off obviously because of the general market conditions, but this is pretty positive though. It's still all right. Let me set a mute you, buddy. Oh, someone beat me to it. Let's see what we got here. It's touch and go on that trend line. If we put it to the wick, still like right on the trend line. But just be aware, pins will likely roll over. If the market starts to, the increase in sell side accelerates to the overall, S&P and QQQ, which is NASDAQ, if they all start to roll and the increase, like the acceleration, we see re-acceleration in selling pressure, then these tech companies will get hit pretty hard. So just, if you're trying to hold pins long term, which I still like this stock long term, if we look at the fundamentals, you look at the growth, everything like that, it prints a different picture to where it's at now. You just have to if this is something you want to hold long term, just wait for it to bottom out after the sell off, and then add some more shares on the reversal. You can also, like I say, if it's something you don't want to sell, then you look to sell maybe some covered calls, make some income, lower your cost basis on selling covered calls on your position if you have 100 shares or more. You could also do that in the meantime as well. There we go. We're starting to get sell signal on MicroStrategy. This is the big win of the day, guys. It took us some time, but we are now down to below 135. That's what I was saying. This one likes to move quickly, $4 or $5. This is up to 278. I'm going to snap that profit right now. I'm taking my profit. I'm good with this. 280 filled. I'm good to go. We may get a little bit more out of it, but I'm not going to risk that. I'm okay with that profit right there. But we could aim for 133.50. But I'm okay with that 280 fill. Yep, absolutely. There may be more roll off for MicroStrategy if we see Bitcoin rolling off. Which, look at this. This is really nasty. So I'd be looking at this level here. If we lose this previous low, which was just this morning at 9 o'clock, got this big pump. If we lose that, just remember where Bitcoin came from. This is the breakout. I think that we'd look for a retest of there, 65. So if we lose this low here on the bigger daily, if we lose this, I have to go to a smaller time frame. Hold on. Yeah, so we lose that area right now, which we'll maybe retesting real soon, about 69K. Then we have a $4,000 move to the downside to potentially, right, down to this level that it likes to hold. Very good volume down there. So if we lose this, I'd be aiming down to about 65, 66. And you can play, MicroStrategy. We can just continue to play the puts until that bottoms out on Bitcoin. Then MicroStrategy will bottom out too. So that's what I'll be looking at. If you look at MicroStrategy, it's a little more choppy, but has room down to down here, down to 121 potentially. which has a volume shelf. So there's a few. There's a gap fill here. There's a volume shelf here. That's if we lose that Bitcoin's 69K, then we have some room for MicroStrategy to follow behind to the downside. But successful. But I'm no longer in that trade. So I took the profit already. So be careful. Alrighty, I'm out of here. My coaching starts in 30 minutes. Pookie put the link up there. I hope to see more new members come in there. Try us out. At least try us out. 30 days, $40 is a very good deal to try us out to see if you want to stay with us and continue your journey. But I am out of here. I'll see you guys in 30 minutes. Bye for now.